揽投资国内专业的互联网理财平台，收益超银行活期数倍，已为众多用户带来丰厚收益。揽投资理财新选择，
源于民族之心，兴于品质之巅，成于健康之路，有爱有缘有三元。
随着当下移动互联网应用的广泛普及及迅猛发展，福特也致力于车载互联相关技术上的创新，智能移动计划应运而生。这项福特于今年1月宣布的计划，旨在利用创新科技，将车载连接技术、移动出行、自动驾驶技术、消费者体验以及大数据整合提升至更高的水平。贝尔兹表示，这项计划的核心在于通过互联网技术，真正改变未来人们的出行方式。
Now we are just for the smart mobility plan, right? You've announced this plan this January, and could you give us more updated status of this plan?
Yeah. What we announced in January is what we call Ford Smart Mobility. And again, it comes back to us thinking as ourselves not only as an automotive manufacturer, but as a mobility company. And Ford Smart Mobility is around taking us to the next level, using innovation in areas around the connected car as it becomes part of the Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles, ride sharing and car sharing, technology, how it's changing the whole retail and ownership experience, and data and analytics and how we can use that to become more informed to satisfy our consumers, all while creating value for our company. And that approach is a very holistic approach around mobility. It's not just about autonomous vehicles. It's about those other things, because we're spending a lot of time thinking about how to make people's lives better, and then challenging our engineers and our marketers to say, what kind of products and services can we offer to our consumers in the market that literally helps change the world move again, just like Henry Ford did 100 years ago. So that's how we're thinking about it, and we're off to a very good start with our Ford Smart Mobility strategy.
So with this plan, Ford looks like both a manufacturing company and an internet company, and which one Ford leans towards more?
Well, if you think about it, we're not only a world-class manufacturing company, but we're also, I think, a world-class technology company. And going forward, you could argue that as the vehicles become part of the internet and consumers allow us to share the data, we'll also be somewhat of an information company as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I think those three things are really driving us as an organization to look at, some of the new competitors we have in the auto industry that we never thought we'd have, whether it's technology companies or other companies. And we look at it as a huge opportunity as a company.
Yeah, and you've set lab in the Silicon Valley, right?
Yeah, part of this is making sure that as we look at those new opportunities, we have to ask ourselves the question, do we need new talent in the company to be able to take advantage of those new technologies, to complement the talent that we already have in the company? So part of the strategy was opening up a lab in Silicon Valley, where by the end of this year we'll have over 125 professionals, engineers and technologists that are working on connected cars and autonomous vehicles and big data and analytics. And it's a way for us to tap into that talent pool. And the way we work today, because all of our research centers are connected, it's a perfect opportunity to go where the talent is.
Oh, yes. And you also have a research center here in Nanjing?
Oh, yes.
And what's the improvement of this center for you?
Well, our center here in Nanjing is part of our 8 product development centers that we have around the world.
Oh, yeah.
And we're also announcing that we're going to be investing $1.8 billion over the next 5 years to continue to improve our product development capabilities and our research capabilities here in China. And part of that will be expanding our facility in Nanjing, building a new building, adding more people to the 2,000 people we already have there.
Oh,
building
huge.
It's a very big operation. It's building a new test track so that we can test vehicles here in China. And the point there is we want to make sure that we have innovation in China for China. And it's not just about being a manufacturer here in China and other parts of the world. It's around also developing our product development capabilities here in China, which will benefit products specifically for China, but also benefit us globally in terms of the number of the technologies that the team in Nanjing is working on.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
It's a very enthusiastic team. I was there about a year ago, and they are so enthusiastic and so motivated to learn that it was really great it's really great for us to share this information with them today. And I remember we did a big town hall when I was there with all the employees, and the enthusiasm, the passion, and the great questions that they asked. I left more energized than when I got there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's so great to know that.
Yeah.
And it's also the part of this Ford culture, do you think so?
Part of our culture as a company, we have a term saying we're part of the Ford family. Mm-hmm. And you know, part of it is because the family is still involved in our business, so we're not some nameless or faceless corporation. But as a family, what do families do? Well, they watch out for each other, they listen to each other, they respect differences of opinions, and there's a connectedness across the generations in a family. So for us as a company, our company culture, I think, is quite unique, and it's also around always trying to do the right thing. We're a company that has been recognized by being very ethical. We've won an award for the past 6 years as being one of the world's most ethical companies. And it's important that all of our employees around the world understand our culture and who we are.
Trying to do the right thing. Well, I think that in this changing world, especially the technology has been innovative and every minute, so there are a lot of chance to make wrong decisions. But it's necessary and it's not avoid. Yeah.
Well, you know, anytime, it's really about learning. Because as we go forward, part of our culture is having this innovation mindset, which means an innovation mindset is really, it's a culture and a habit around innovation. And it's around challenging custom and questioning tradition, not taking anything for granted, using technology where we can, always focusing on how the consumer is experiencing that, acting fast, and taking appropriate risks. And as we do that, there will be successes, and it's important that we celebrate those successes with our team.
And there is a new slogan, Ford, Innovation for Millions. What's the key about this slogan?
Well, I think the key is, again, it comes back to who we are as a brand. And our brand has always been about accessibility and ingenuity and also having a human factor to it. But that accessibility is really important because we want to make sure that innovations are not just available for people that buy luxury cars. We want to make sure that it is available for majority of consumers so that we can make their lives easier and do it in a way that's affordable when we bring these innovations going forward.